now that the SonicsArena.com launched the week of the Sonics 79 championship, man, I'd be remiss as a Seattle sports fan activist versed in parliamentary procedure and franchise relocation if I did not point out that at this time, that website is out of order and misrepresents the current actual situation. I got a video on Seattle Sonics MIA that goes more in depth, but ironically, John Clayton, my position was bolstered by Chris Hansen himself when I heard him on the radio basically taking the position that everything will just work itself out down the road and likening the Seattle Sonics to the Cleveland Browns situation, when the fact of the matter is the Browns' name, colors, and history couldn't be pried out of the Cleveland Browns fans' ice-cold Coors Light hands and remained in Cleveland until the Browns came back, thanks to the city officials who had their head in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by Chris Hansen using the Cleveland Browns as a comparison, he actually doesn't have the proper handle on this most important Seattle Sonics point, right, John Clayton?
Well, the one thing is, I mean, there's not going to be any expansion, so there's not going to be, any chance that Cleveland can get a franchise like that. It's a matter of can they get another franchise. That's where the problem is. I mean, at least it happened in a time in the NFL where they still had enough room, they felt, to try to add teams, and so that's why Cleveland got a franchise. The difference is here, there's no guarantee. There's not going to be any expansion. I mean, in many ways, I think if David Stern had his way, he'd like to contract.
Fact of the matter is, if Chris Hansen is using the Cleveland Browns as a comparison to the Seattle Supersonics naming situation, he actually doesn't have the proper handle on this point, right, John Clayton?
Yeah, I would have to say that, because, I mean, it's a different situation. I mean, this is a unique situation. You can't compare it to an expansion thing because it's not like you're going to have the league cooperate and help out a franchise. You're kind of on your own. You've got to go get your team.
I rest my case on that. And lastly, John Clayton,